Okay, here I am with gift idea number 10, the how-to, and it's quite fun. Oh, someone's looking at me. That's why I went silent. Go away. Okay, so we're going to make these little pouches. Now, Roben made them with the strong tracing paper, and I could do that because I have that tracing paper, but I wanted to give it a go with this, the plastic bags. So these ones here, and I really love the way it turned out. So what I did was I cut down the side, cut the bottom off, and then cut that down there. So I've got two pieces, and then you just fold them in half. So I don't need the two pieces. I've already made one, so we'll just do the one. So fold them in half, like so. It doesn't matter if your cutting's not straight. It really doesn't matter. This is the best way. This one might, no, that's about the same. Yep, that's good. Okay, so cut it in half. Just run your fingers along there to get your crease. Now you are working with a slippery material, so I did not use a cutter or anything like that because it is slippery, and I think that's dangerous. You're at great risk of, slicing your finger or that sort of thing. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to put our fabrics along the top. So what I did was I just put a little teeny tiny piece of glue along here to help myself so that they stayed in place. And then I grabbed, just a second, does it have to coordinate with that one? No, I've always got my scraps here. I've always got them already sort of cut. I've got my inch ruler here, so I'll tell you in centimeters. Centimeters, they're about 3 centimeters wide, and so that would be, wrong way, 1 1/4 inches, about thereabouts. Okay, and I just place them down. I can do it about halfway. So I'm halfway here. Okay, and yeah, so I've always got bits and pieces already cut up in the fabric department because, as you know, we don't throw them out, our scraps. I don't want that colour. Where's my blue? Oh, here it is. Where's my blue? And I've usually got them fairly well divided, although this is one that I still have to sort of divide, and I love this, and you can't get this fabric anymore. It's not an expensive fabric, but I just love that colour, blue check. So just put them down, and that one's a bit wider, so I'll just trim that off. Let me trim it off a little bit. You want them more or less. It doesn't matter. They don't have to be perfectly the same. It's not a perfect science, but more or less, we'll say. My sleeves are just getting in the way, so let's get those out of the way because that's just annoying. Okay, we don't want annoyed Rachel because annoyed Rachel's not very nice. Okay, and then, oh, what about a spot? No. I'd love a linen. I don't think I've got any linens left. I need to cut some more. I don't think there's any linens in my... Oh, wait, I've got this linen here. This one's all right. This is what I want. That'll do. Like so. And then, I don't... Oh, wait, I've got other bits. Where are they? Where's my fabric basket? I'm asking you like you should know. Oh, here it is. I could find something in here that's... See, I'd like a bit of this. But I might put that one on afterwards over the top. Do I have anything else of any interest in here? I mean, yes, there's lots of interest, but I don't know whether there's something that's right. No, probably not. What about this one? No. Okay. So we might get something from this mix bag here. About this one or that one. Let's put a bit of this one and that one. See what we do here. Okay, so, well, that's good. The whole bag just fell on the floor. I don't know if you heard that. So that goes like that. Now, the next job is I've got my clips here. Wonder clips are the best with the sewing machine because they're flat on one side, so they sort of sit flat on the sewing machine. But if you don't have those, I also use these just as well. Okay, so what I want to do, now this is the probably one of the most fiddly parts of the whole process, is you don't want to fold down your plastic. I think I've gone crooked. No, I haven't. Okay, so just fold that down. That's not quite half. Now, why is that so? I'll take it off. See how well it's stuck down? It's amazing, isn't it? So I think I've gone off the track here. This is where I've gone off the track. So I have to start again and get back on track. Oh, and I've been watching the terrible news in Australia with the horrible bushfires. And I know I've got some subbies that live in that area, so I hope everybody's safe and well. It's an absolute disaster. I just feel really, it's been horrifying watching all of the news reports about it. So I hope everybody's safe and well. My thoughts are, I'm thinking about you. I've been thinking about it all day yesterday and today. Oh dear. The drought is just terrible, and the eucalyptus trees just burn like wildfire. It's just incredible how quickly they burn. Okay, so I'm going to have a sip of coffee before we start stitching. Now you won't be able to see my sewing machine because you are up above, and you need to be up above so that way I don't go off screen too much when I'm working. So I'll bring it over, but you won't be able to see. I'm just doing straight stitch backwards and forwards, and my first stitching is going to be closer to the edge, and then I'll come back and stitch down like that. I'm going closer to the edge so that way I sort of capture the plastic and the acetate and the fabric, and it's just straight stitch. So I've got a regular needle for stitching just cotton, and my stitch is on 3, the length. Got things getting in my way. There we go. And then I just, with my needle down, turn it around and come back. And I'm not going to stitch on top where I stitched, I'm just going to come down a little bit. And I just keep my finger on the fabric to hold it flat so it doesn't get any lumps or bumps anywhere. So needle down and then turn around and then come back, and I want to catch down the edge. Okay, so that's that. Then, see, it's all stitched. I'm going to do the other side. Turn it over. So if I were to decide to use any of the same fabrics, I would make sure I put them in a different position. Like if I were to use this one, I wouldn't put it there, I'd put it over here in a different position. So let's get this one. I think I'll just cut it about there. You see, I just do it by eye. I'm not measuring my fabrics or anything like that. Okay, so I need my glue and my glue page. Let's run the glue along and start sticking down. See how easy it is? And as I said, the glue is just to hold it in place to make our lives a little bit easier. And I might even put that one on there. See, here I'm only going to have 3, but I'll do something else afterwards, I'll show you. And I might just grab one of these purples. It's not quite the same width, but it doesn't matter. And then I'm going to clip them down. Actually, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add over the top something else, you see. I'm going to add it there, I think. Put that there. I might just put a bit of glue on it, just so it behaves itself. And put it there. Okay, and now we'll fold down and start clipping. Got that. That. This one. And then I'm ready to stitch, I think. Yes. And I could decide I might want to add something else afterwards. So, I can bring my sewing machine back up a bit better. And also when you start stitching, just make sure that that's all flat. It's not folded back like that or anything like that, because that could also happen. It's not the end of the world, but it could happen. Oops. Trim that off. And there we go. Okay. Now, let's have a look. That's the wrong way. So that's that. That's about right. And I think they're fine. I don't think I want to add any more, do I? No, I don't think so. So I'll put the fabrics away, unless I wanted to add a bit of... No. Okay, let's put the fabrics away and out of the way because we need space. And the next thing I do is... I got something like, so Roben used, obviously hers was on paper and this was all paper. And then she used this, it was like a mulberry paper that was transparent. Well, I'm not using paper and I don't have that paper anyway. So I thought I'd continue on with the theme of my textile. And I have this, it's curtain stuff that I bought. I bought it actually in the Dolomites many years ago when we went there, when Lulu was like literally 3 or something, and I've never used it all. It's not old, it was just from a fabric shop. So I'm just going to trim off a strip, and I'll tell you about how wide. I'm just doing it by eye. I'm just going to trim the strip right off, and it's getting wider as I go. Okay, got my strip. I'm going to put that back in the drawer. We'll fold it afterwards. That might be a little bit wide. Now what I did was I just put it on there and eyeballed my length. And I'm just going to tidy it up a little bit. It's not going to be perfect, but it will be tidier. Okay. And that's going to go there. And then I need to cut another one. And you can see it's kind of transparent. Maybe I'll get a bit more of that, trim that off. I can use that for something else. And trim it there. Put that there. And I need to trim this down a little bit. So where it's wonky, I'll snip that off. So I think about the same width as I did the other ones. I'll just tidy it up a bit on this side as well. Okay. And that one's going to go there, like so. I can trim off a little bit more of that one. Okay, now this is a little bit fiddly because this is flimsy and it's slippery and we're stitching it all together. So what I did actually first was, so I didn't have to worry about this all sort of slip sliding away everywhere. Do you know what I did? I stitched it closed first. So we'll do that. I nearly forgot that step. So we'll just sort of line it up and then see how we're going. I mean, you could do fabric pouches like this too. I mean, that possibilities are endless. And wouldn't these be fun if you put them in a journal? That would be really fun too. So let's stitch this closed. I'm not going to worry about back stitching just because it's going to be stitched over again in a minute. And I'm actually just going to, even though the bottom's already closed, I'm going to go around the bottom as well. On the other one I zigzagged, on this one I'm just doing straight stitch. And I will tell you that the sewing machine does not mind sewing the plastic at all. I think it quite enjoys it. It's not having any hiccups. And I shouldn't say that because I haven't finished. There we go. So that's stitched closed. So now all I have to do is concentrate on getting my netting sort of fabric on. I don't have to worry about my pouch slipping or, you know, the edges not meeting up or anything like that because it's already stitched. I'll put that there. I just put a little bit of glue just to help me along. Got too much. So just, yeah, just maneuver it and then fold it over and start clipping. So very simple. And I just so loved Roben's ones that she did with her beautiful painted papers. I really need to do her course and learn to do that. And then I can do them with papers as well. That would be fun, wouldn't it? But this is my spin on my spin on what Roben did. Okay, so then we'll clip this one over as well. I'll get my clips out ready so I'm not fumbling about too much. Okay. And that's that. Okay, so now I'm ready to stitch. And I'm going to do the same as what I did across the top. So you do lose a bit of the width because you're stitching this down, but there's still plenty of space in there. Oh, and I've forgotten to do a step. I'll tell you in a second. I might be able to rectify it. Knew it. So I'm always turning around with my needle down in the project so it doesn't move. And then here I'll just back stitch a little bit. There we go. So that's that. And I'll just trim that little piece off. And we'll do this one. Okay, so that is that one. Okay, what I've forgotten to do is I've forgotten to put my little tab on. but I might be able to get away with it because it's fairly flexible. So I'm just trying to see what, I have to fold that and put that away properly. What lace would I like to put at the top? I've got to find a bit that's a similar colour to the other one. Maybe I'd like something a bit different. Oh, here we go. What's that? No, I can't use that. Sorry guys, I'm getting there. That's a big piece. About something like this. If I just cut there, maybe make that straight and that straight ish, and let's see if I can get away with it. So I'll put it in a different position to the other one. Hopefully I can do it. Yes, I think I can. So basically, before you stitch your sides closed, you need to put on your tab. But you can, look, you can get away with it if you forget, because it's very forgiving, the plastic. I'm going back and forth 3 times, and just being careful not to stitch it closed. So problem is solved. There you go. And I've got my little tab on there, and I put it in a different spot to the other one. And then, the same as what I did with the other one, I'd stitched up some of these after my video the other day, some little ruffles, just so I had them ready to go. And I'm actually going to just cut a piece off this one. And you could put buttons on them. I didn't do that. I'm not going to put any buttons on them at the moment. I'm just going to put them on like that. And I need my PVA glue. It's stuck down very well with the PVA glue. So what I did was I just put it on here. I put a lot down the center, and then I put dots here and there around the edges, so that, because otherwise when you're putting it in and out of the pouch, it will get stuck. Okay, and I'm going to glue that one on there. Just a little decoration. There we go. Let that dry. And now we can move on to the pouch. Right, the pouch. Okay, well, I haven't pre-made the pouch, obviously, so now my issue is I don't have these with gussets. So let me have a sip of coffee while I think about that. I can move all these fabrics. I'll just chuck those over there near where they have to be put away. And I'm going to close my glue. I might need my clips, I don't know. Just going to clear away my space here. Now I need to get my chomper, the big one. And Roben just sort of randomly cut it in a very random manner in half. So why don't I do that? I don't even know where half is. Just going to be brave and cut it. Okay. Now what am I going to do about a gusset? First of all, I'm going to... what will I do first of all? First of all, I could... She measured these, you see, to see how wide did they need. That's about right, isn't it? And then she also needed to measure. Oh, I put my thing away and still need it. Needed to measure where to cut it down. So I'm gonna maybe I'll put them like that. I think put the smaller one in the front. And isn't this nice? Michelle sent me these. I love them. They are craft paper file folders. So my height, I'm going to measure my height, you see, like this. And I want them to be slightly taller like Roben did, so they stick out. So I need to cut it about there. Oh yeah, about there I'll do it, I think. hoping it's straight. Off I go. You know me, and what lovely pieces I've got to play with there now. Great. Okay. This is the first time I've ever done anything with a file folder. Okay, so let me get my... I've got no idea how I'm going to decorate them. None whatsoever. So that... No, that's not wide enough. I think even a bit wider. You want to give yourself a bit of space. Okay. I think that's going to be it. So I need to get some glue under there. Let me just double check it. Here I am doing this. I got no idea what am I going to do about the gusset. I could have it without a gusset, and then maybe in that case you'd only put one pouch in, but it's really a pouch in a pouch. It's not two pouches in a pouch. Okay. I'm not too concerned that they're not exactly straight, but I could trim it. I'm going to do what Roben did and cover that. Look how what a new ding dong I am at trying to cut. Okay, yeah, I will cut up just that pointy bit because it might annoy whatever I put over the top. I haven't decided. I really haven't decided. Okay. Well, I might have to create a gusset, I think, and I've never done that before. That'll be interesting. What about if I take this? This is nice. So I need to trim it there. Can I see that? Yes. Crooked. Of course it went crooked. Okay. And then I need to get this one and trim it the same. Very crooked. Okay. Then I don't know. I think you just fold them in half. And then maybe fold those back. I think, yeah. It's a little bit fiddly. It would have been nice if I already had one built in. But we can resolve the problem. Methinks. Okay. So you get this sort of shape. Okay. And then just a minute. I want it that way. That's wrong, isn't it? So, oh no, that's okay. So just glue it down there and there. Okay, that's going to work. I just need to trim it off a little bit, teeny tiny bit. Okay, let's do this one. So what did I do first? I folded it just so they're going the same direction. Goodness knows how long this video is. I might have to stop it and do a part 2. There we go, got that one. So my next thing I want to do is I need to put a paper over there. Or I don't really need to, but I'm going to. because I did like it. I wonder how long my video is. Got no idea. None whatsoever. Oh well. Okay, let me just have a look around. What would I like to put on there? Just wondering if I might like some... No, I'm not going to do Edith Holden. Oh, now I'm hot. Just take my jumper off. Sorry, guys. Oh, it's making me hot. Thinking about it. So these are going to go... I don't have a gusset at the bottom. Roben had a gusset at the bottom. Is that going to be a problem? Don't know. See, they're going to still... They stick out a lot, don't they? Might have trimmed it down too much. No, I think that's going to be nice. Okay. I just have to decide how to decorate it. What have I got floating around? Not those. Might need to think about this for a second, and I'm going to stop my video. I'm going to get myself organized, and I'm going to do a part 2 so that way it's not too long. So I'll be back in a second. Bye.